Hey, here I am. Here you are. Boop. We got that going on over there. We got some happiness. Maybe we'll put that in the background today as I sit underneath a little heart in a little car. Maybe plop down my hair a little bit. So we've got the little road trip metaphor and the happiness metaphor. And they're not backwards like it often is on TikTok. So I know where to point. So, hey, I would say good morning, but technically, at least where I am, it's afternoon now because it says 12:01 because I yammered on for a little bit there. So, good afternoon, Leslie and Mrs. Forrester and Spreading Sunshine. Nice to see you. Ooh, I got a little something, something here. I often have a little something, something here. Lexi, nice to see you. Jeanette, Laura Gibbon Vo. Yo to the Vo. Good to see you all. Yay, good noontime to you, Blonde Cheryl. Yay, good stuff. I think your ears might have been burning, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, because Carla was singing your praises, I believe, yesterday. What a sweet bunch of people we have, huh? And if you're a nice person and you're struggling with clutter, I want to help you. If you're a jerk, you're on your own. It's true. It's true. But yeah, nice to see you, Caddy's Travel and Oki and Marcella and all sorts of people. Yeah, what day is today? Today's Tuesday. Already. Crazy, it's Tuesday. Tomorrow is October 1st. Here's a reminder for everybody, because I did this myself yesterday, to print out your monthly habit tracker. I don't want to do that little dinkly dink, I don't have on a finger, but remember to print yours out. I printed mine out yesterday. Have I filled it out? No, but I will. Yeah, so the beginning of a new month is where we're on October Eve. That's a thing I just made up. So October to me means pumpkins, November means turkeys, and December for me means like Christmas trees. So we got some stuff coming up. And I betcha the upcoming holidays might be improved by your decluttering. Now, has anybody here put out like fall decor, Halloween decor? Did you put out all the stuff that you bought last year? Did you buy new stuff? Is it something that you're still excited to do, or is it more kind of a drag, as they would say back in the 60s? That's a stone cold drag. I know myself, I used to decorate a lot more for the holidays. I thought it was fun. I liked going out looking for the stuff and getting inspiration and finding the stuff and then bringing it home and then putting it up and taking pictures of it and having it up. That was all fun to me. Nowadays, it's not as fun as it used to be, and I'm okay with that. Okay? So I just offer to you. Yeah, I love it. Okie teacher, I have a trick-or-treat bowl, and that is it. We use a giant stainless steel bowl. I actually had one. I used one Halloween that was a vintage bowl that I had thrifted, and then I sold it on eBay because I could make more money from it. But we have a few things, but I have definitely decreased what we have. I am wondering if we even have, so like 2 totes. So yeah, so notice what you have, the quantity, the quality, and also how you interacting with your stuff makes you feel. Hey, this is cool. Blonde Cheryl says a little fall decor outside is all. Again, not to just to touch base with yourself in this year's holiday season. To be like, well, I know I did that years before. Do I still want to do it today? How does it make me feel? Does it rev me up, or is it like, So, Laura Gibbon Voorhees had a good declutter day yesterday. Donated books, a small bag of clothes, and stuff to consignment to sell. Wonderful. Wonderful. Notice you're in the groove. You are noticing how good it can feel to declutter, the good feelings. And so when you realize that it can feel good to just let go of stuff that you've been hanging on to, that you don't even really want, but you're hanging on to it for some rando reason, it feels good to let go of it. Release. Let go. So I offer to you. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. And I do TikTok lives for an hour a day, pretty much every day, except for when I don't. And I also, right after this TikTok live, we go to YouTube, Destination Decluttered on YouTube, and do another hour there. So take a look at your schedule, and see what you're doing for the next half hour, 20 minutes, 45 minutes, hour, 2 hours. What do you got on your schedule? If you don't have anything going on, maybe you want to listen like a podcast. Maybe you want to listen and declutter at the same time. Because as Laura Gibbon-Vo says, feel decluttered and it feels so good. Right? Right? It does feel so good. That's the only reason we're doing it. Not the only reason, but it's one of the many good reasons to declutter, is that it feels good. Not only to let go of stuff you don't want. I mean, imagine that. Imagine yourself having like a dirty tissue, something you don't want, and you kind of know I should let go of it, but for whatever reason, I can't. And then when you discover that reason, you're like, oh. And then you're like, I can let that go, and it feels so good. Now, Knickknack82 says, my little boys have a field day with all my decor, but I cringe at their placements. Yeah, kiddos. Some of the things you have to do for the kiddos, I guess. And I say have to. Some things you do for the kids when it may not be your thing. I guess that's what parenting is. But if you need to declutter, what you could do is you could have the kiddos help with the deciding what goes out and what stays and all that. Decluttering is a life lesson. So there we go. Marietta in Jersey. Hey, Marietta. Nice to see you. I thought of you yesterday when I saw an ad for that Bruce Springsteen movie that's coming out. I believe you're a Springsteen fan, as we discussed. So decluttering really involves a couple of things long before you ever move stuff. Okay. Now, Teresa says, I need to declutter a lot. My autistic granddaughter won't leave holiday decor alone. Right. So notice how it makes you feel if people are touching the stuff, if that's a good feeling, it's a not so good feeling. Maybe kind of kid-proofing the home or making it you feel good when people come over to visit can feel good. But notice you feeling good about it is a big reason we do it. Also, at a certain time in your life, I don't know, I do one-on-one declutter coaching with people, and I've done it for years now. And I have coached people from their 20s into their 70s and all in between. And some people grew up with clutter, so in their 20s, they're early on, it kind of piles up real quick. And other times it's a slow kind of build of a pile. But at a certain point in your life, you look around and you say, I don't like the way it's looking and feeling here. Okay? And so I'm here to help you when you're at that point to say, yeah, no. Yeah, I have clutter. No, I don't want it anymore. So here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Hey, Kara, nice to see you. Marietta in Jersey says it's a triple win. Decluttered 2 areas to accommodate that new kitchen table and a section of the closet. Awesome. German Made 95. How's it going? Now, speaking of selling a Crenit bowl that I used to put my Halloween candy on it, I sold that on Etsy. No, Etsy wasn't even invented. eBay years ago. I am curious, Kara. Not judging, just curious. How'd it go with you listing your vintage jewelry? I hope it went well. Yay, I see some people knowing some people in the comments. This is great. Oh, hon. And see, this is cool. Not that it's cool that you had a day in the ER with a hernia flare. Not fun at all. But also, please remember, everybody, a plan is just a plan. If for whatever reason you don't get your plan done, don't make a big deal of it. Just plan to do it again. I hope you're feeling better, my dear. And Laura Gibbon-Voorhees called you the Green Goddess. I like that. Now, Kath161, freeing. Oh, isn't that a nice feeling? Such a freeing feeling. Letting go of the stuff you don't want and getting it out of your house, out of your life. Yeah. Oh, Marietta. Marietta, you are in good company. You are. Marietta says, found out lots of clutter is hidden in plain sight in corners. Anyone else hide piles in bags in corners? Yes. Actually, Marietta, I don't know if you know this acronym, so I'll share it with you. I learned it here on TikTok from other people with ADHD. It's called a doom bag or a doom box. Now, it gives you that sense of doom when you look at it because you're like, oh, I have to deal with it. But it's really an acronym for didn't organize, only moved. So I didn't organize it, but at least I put it in a bag and I'll deal with it later. And notice my flagrant use of air quotes. You're doing something. Usually those things are done. Yeah, I hate Walmart bags of clutter, says Teresa. Yeah, it is very common because you want to do something to declutter areas, usually in a short amount of time. I will share with all of you. It's just a fact. My mother lives in the house that I grew up in that they bought in 1969. Okay. Last summer, maybe this last year, the year before, they all kind of blend in. I believe it was the year before. I went up there to Massachusetts and I emptied out and decluttered that attic. I found doom bags that both my mother and my father put up in the attic. Literally, they had been up. One of them, I know for a fact, was up there since the 70s. Okay? So I offer to you, there's nothing wrong with you. There's no judgment. You are not alone. And if you do that, because you have good intentions, you're trying to do something to make it temporarily look better, and you promise yourself you'll go through the stuff, but then for whatever reason, you never do. And I bet because if in anything, it is a bag of decisions to be made. Yeah. Now, Marietta says, yes, I went around the downstairs and every single corner has clutter. Although my house doesn't look terrible. Yeah, but notice that you can also have clutter blindness. Clutter blindness is when your brain, when it looks at things, it often will kind of pop open a file that says a statement. Oh, that's right, I have to go through that bag. And so if you look at it and that file pops up, oh, that's right, I got to do that, and you don't do it. Oh, that's right, I got to do it, and you don't do it. After a while, your brain is like, fine, I'm not even going to see that. I'm going to make you blind to it, because every time we look at it and I tell you, don't forget there's stuff in that thing you need to deal with, you don't do it, I'm not doing it anymore. Yeah. So I offer to you, your house doesn't look terrible, but I bet it would look better. And even if it didn't look better, imagine the feeling of having done whatever it needs to do to feel good about getting this stuff out of that bag. Now, the reason you don't just pitch it in the trash is, yeah, there we go. Lexi says, when desperate, I wish I can just get those bags and throw away, but I notice. But afraid there is valuables in them, thar hills, okay? So notice the fear. There is always fear around the things we don't do. You're afraid maybe to make the decisions. Here's a fun thing. I can help you with these bags right now. And it's really simple. This is the process I used, and I have used when I've done this before. Because many of us accumulate things, and it's like a pile of mishmash, mail and coupons and whatever, and who knows. So I offer to you, this is why we talk about surface clutter, stored clutter, and sentimental clutter. A doom bag really is a concentrated bag of surface clutter because you pulled it out from surfaces and you put it in a bag so that temporarily your surfaces looked good for whatever reason you needed to do that. Okay? So you've got some surface clutter that was all spread out. Now you still need to clear a surface to dump it out again. But this time you go through it, and I'm telling you, the more I coach, the simpler it gets. Chunking it down, categorizing it. So if you were to dump out one of your bags, I bet you would find things like items. Oh, here's a bunch of mail I haven't opened. Category. Here is some mail I did open. Category. Different pile. Here are some magazines I haven't read yet. category. What else do you think, without even looking in a bag, okay? What do you commonly put in a doom bag? It's probably stuff that you are on a certain level afraid to deal with. Okay? So if you think, you know what, let's see. This is the thing. If you're afraid that there is something valuable in there, open up the bag, dump it out, and look for the valuables. What is actually valuable? Maybe everything else is going to be, here's my categories. This is valuable. I want to keep it. This is not valuable. It goes back in the bag, and then the bag goes into the trash. Okay? There are ways you can do this, even if you have the habit. Even if you grew up that you were taught the solution for clutter was to put it in a bag and put the bag out of sight and you'll deal with it later, but then you forget it for 50 years. Okay? All right, so you say bags are usually a combo. But notice, combo of categories. Category of clothing, category of toys, category of water bottles, category of dishes. So you can bring them out and just one at a time, just deal with those things. So I love this. ArrowGirl69 is asking what a doom bag is. So it is when you have the idea that one of the ways to declutter is to put a bunch of clutter in a bag, but then the bag does not get emptied and put away or dealt with. And it's an acronym that stands for didn't organize, only moved. So think about it. It's stuff that you didn't organize, that you just shoved it in a container. And then your idea was, well, I'll put it in this container temporarily, but temporary turns into permanent. Okay. Now this is fun, talking about valuable things you'll get. Okie Teacher says, I have been working on my mom's house for 20 minutes daily. Yesterday I found a treasure. Yay. Yay. I found my dad's recipe for homemade biscuits and it was in his writing. Oh, that's so cool. Notice the treasures you will find when you are decluttering. One of the treasures you may find is kind of a backhanded treasure. It is the finding that all of the stuff that's in that bag is crap, that you can easily throw it away. That is a lovely feeling. Okay? Yeah. And as Marietta says, because she found that she had bags in her corners, those corner piles always grow larger and larger too, she observes. It starts as a small box in a bag and then in 2 or 3 or 5. So notice this about yourself. My dears, you, like I, have habits. We have habits that have gotten the corners of our houses to have a pile of bags of stuff I haven't dealt with yet. That's you. You can also change that habit and no longer have corners of stuff that gets stacked up. Okay? Okay, and Teresa, if most of yours are miscellaneous trash, then honestly, trash is probably the easiest layer of surface clutter to even deal with because it's immediately like, boom, trash, boom, trash. You don't even need to think about it. So could you, even right now, if you know, because here's the deal with these TikTok lives and YouTube lives that I do, I know that you could listen to me, because you don't need to look at the screen. It doesn't change much. You could listen to me. I can keep you company as you do something you're afraid of. We can kind of Hansel and Gretel it, as it were. I'm here with you, and you're doing something. You're dumping out. Everybody here, you could play along at home. Everybody here could decide to open up one, not all of them, just one doom bag or box right now. And I can guarantee that in 20 minutes, you will have a better idea of what you have that you want to keep and what was trash, and you can immediately throw it away. Do not, just because it's stuck there, don't think, like, break the seal, break the spell of it. You can touch it, you can move it, you can dump it out. Take some action and dump it out and see what the hell is in the bag. I am here to help you with it. Okay? Now, Belle22 knows what it's like if you don't do that and you just keep on doing the habit of putting things in bags. She's got an entire shed full of doom bags and boxes. Okay? Now, so here's the thing. Marietta, I can tell by your list a couple of things. Okay? I don't judge, but what I see is 2 things. This is what I want to offer to you. This is one of the voices in which our bodies speak to, our heads speak to us, is what I call your backseat driver voice. I can recognize that because of the quick repetition and not letting you get a word in edgewise, not wanting to slow down. So I love this Marietta. So you've got dirty socks and returns never made and seasonal things and this and this and ba. That's what I, ba. You know what I mean? That kind of cadence, right? I want to stop you right there, because how we undo it is by breaking that habit, going and this and this and this, and you're on a roll. What I would say is one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Okay? Marietta, dirty socks. Just deal with the dirty socks right now. Put them in the hamper, put them in the laundry, whatever. Okay? Returns not made. Okay, good to know. Sorting your things, dumping out a doom bag. And then the first step is not solving it all right now, but putting it into piles of like items together. Taking inventory, seeing what's in there. Maybe there is a treasure there. People have found checks that they got mailed. People have found jewelry. Like, you may find something valuable. Okay? So notice what you have. All right? Yeah. Okay. So Monk says, I have a lot of doom spots where I move stuff from one place to another because I don't know what to do with it. Okay, Arago does the same as Marietta. Okay. Yeah, you're all not alone, please. Yes, Sconson is offering put the returns in the car and not in the home. That helps me a lot. That's what Sconson says. So Monk, notice the vagaries. So I have a lot of doom spots where I move stuff because I don't know what to do with it. One of the opposites that can help, we work in opposites a lot. Fear, love, stuff you love, stuff you don't love, opposites type of thing. You may not know what to do with everything, but you do know what to do with some things. And the things that you currently don't know what to do something with, we can find a solution. Okay? Okay. And you're going to notice that your habit, much like Marietta is saying, my office and son's room now has become a doom room. Now you can continue this. Everybody who's got a doom bag, I'm not telling you need to stop. But if you continue this, you're going to have a room full of stuff. You are. And if you want that, go right ahead. Okay? Yes. Here's the deal. Okay? Yeah. And here's the key to it all, okay? I just want to, I only do these TikTok lives and YouTube lives to help. And I spend hours and hours and hours of my life thinking about researching, practicing, sharing, all about decluttering, okay? Notice Teresa is saying, I'm a shifter. And then Lady V is saying, I want to hire an organizer for clothing and rooms, but I've been disappointed before. Here's a phrase I want you to write down, okay? Or you don't have to. Decluttering is decision making. It's not the moving of items from one place to another. It's not making the items look pretty and organizing them until you have made the conscious decision to say, yes, I want to keep this. And no, I don't want to keep that. So notice Marietta. You probably have bags of unmade decisions. Habits. It's just a habit. I don't say this to put any blame or shame or whatever. But notice this about yourself. As soon as you realize you have that point is like being on a road trip. Now you have a choice. What do you call it? A fork in the road appears. And it's not like a spoon and a fork. Okay? You now know that you have the habit of doing that. So feel free. Now you're aware. This is something I have done in the past. And if I don't change something at this juncture, it's going to continue to build like it has done. Or I can do something different. And I am here at that juncture, standing there, just saying, if you want to do something different, here's the road I suggest you take. But I don't stop you and force you. I'm not like the flagger guy that says, no, it's a detour. It's of your own volition. You need to want to stop going down the road you have been and then start going down this road. And when you go down that road of not doing something different than you've done, I'm a guide to help you. Okay? Yes, an Arrow Girl, you're not alone. Okay? Here's what Arrow Girl said, and many of you know that there's some steps that I go through because I am a decluttering life coach, and I want to help you with these steps because you may never have heard them before, and also other people can benefit from the repetition. Okay? So Arrow Girl 69 says, I get clutter blind. We talked about that earlier, that you just don't even see it anymore because when you look at it, it makes you feel overwhelmed. I finally saw it the other day. I got overwhelmed. You had the feeling of overwhelm, and I didn't know where to start. Okay, so a couple of things, Arrow Girl, before we get to the real juicy bits of that. One is, everybody, please, this is how I have found really works. Before you start any project, as you get up in the morning throughout the day, check in with how you're feeling physically, both kind of the body, but also your nervous system. So you can do something to make yourself feel better physically now. I'm always talking about going to the bathroom because when my bladder is full, I can't concentrate on anything. Going to the bathroom, taking a headache medicine, maybe having some caffeine, a cup of tea, drinking some water, moving around, adjusting your bra. Make yourself feel better in your body. And right next to your body, you can't even separate the two, but it's a totally different vibe, is going to be your nervous system, your system of nerves in your body that get activated, that go zing when something happens. Now, your nervous system may already be kind of zigzaggy, okay? We're going to calm it down. We're going to practice using our body to calm it down. We'll get to the root of the cause in a minute, but just think about that. If you're feeling overwhelmed, anytime you are feeling the feeling of overwhelm, I want you to think of it as just a feeling. It's triggered by something. I don't know what it is, but when I am triggered by overwhelm, I am not in the best state of mind to discover what triggered that, okay? And so what you do is you use your body and you move your hands down and you breathe down and you slow down the way you speak. You slow down the way you breathe. Get your shoulders are up. Forcefully put your shoulders way up and then consciously bring your shoulders down. Oh, notice how good it feels. You want to quiet down the voice in your head. And you know what the voice in your head is saying, Arrow Girl? It's actually backwards. You had the thought, I don't know where to start. And that's the thought with many of you. The thought of I don't know what to do causes the physical nervous system reaction of the overwhelm feeling. Ugh, defeat, discouragement, heaviness, stress. It's okay that you currently don't know how to do something. You've actually identified where you're stuck is I don't know what to do here. That's okay. When you don't know how to do something, there are people there who do know what to do that can teach you. So I offer this to you, everybody. That's why I show up and I'm doing so many more TikTok lives and YouTube lives because I want to reach as many people as possible to remind you that you have the power to do something different than you have ever done before. And I don't want that to sound overwhelming, but I just say calming down your nervous system, quieting it down, and then you notice, what did I look at that all of a sudden popped up this phrase in my head that caused me to feel like this? Okay? So Marietta says, I think I'm going around the house and taking pictures of all the piles, then ask myself which pile I want to tackle that day. Okay, you could do that, Marietta. That to me it can be helpful, but I'm going to kind of call you on that. That is you doing something that you think is going to be helpful. You could schedule the piles on a calendar. I say this, Marietta, right now, and I say this with love. You know me, I don't say anything with meanness except for mean people. You could start with one bag right now. Don't make the big plans. People, don't make the big plans. I know what I'll do. What I'll do is I'll take all the pictures and I'll schedule it and I get this great plan. But I'll start tomorrow. Marietta, it's 12:30 right now. It's 12:30 right now. Why don't you could conceivably, seriously, grab just one of them bags. Anybody else? Does anybody else want to go through a doom bag with Marietta or anybody, or just by yourself when you want to say, I want to stop putting things in bags and ignoring them. So I'm going to start not ignoring just this one random bag. Okay? Oh, hey. Good, Judy. Nice to see you. Light and Sound Show. I love it. There we go. Leslie M. took my suggestion, and I am cleaning out a drawer during this live. See, Leslie's doing it. Notice this, you guys, too. One bag at a time. One chunk at a time. If you are not eagerly saying, sure, why the hell not? Okay, Dawn is committing. All right, Dawn says, yes, I commit to a doom bag now. How brave of you. How freaking awesome of you to just try. Okay, so I offer to you, if you have doom bags, do this. If you have a doom bag and you're saying, no, I can't go through it on this call because, what's the answer to your because? There we go. Maria says, because I need to add my fall sweaters and there's no room, so I am donating summer things. Okay. Yep. That could be a reason. So you're doing that. I just offer to you. Notice that you have thoughts in your head. Yeah. Arrow Girl. We call it, what do people call that? Like analysis paralysis. I do that, she says. I can spend hours planning with lists for each room, but then are you actually working the plan and crossing things off of your list? Now, I say that with love in my heart and a smile on my face because a plan is important at times and a list can be really beneficial. But until you discover why you're not doing it, you ain't going to do it. No matter how fancy your notebooks, the intricate plans, if you've got something inside you, which is usually, honestly, seriously, this is all I ever talk about. It's a thought in your head that triggers a feeling of no, I can't or don't wanna. Well, there you go. Analysis paralysis, and I'm an analyst by trade. You analyze things in order to, I guess in theory, then take some action based on your knowledge. Or maybe you hand off the, here's my analysis, now somebody else does something with it. But how funny is that, huh? Yeah. You're an analyst with paralysis. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Marietta, I love it. I get it though, Beth, because setting up my new kitchen set required me to deal with 3 different piles in one. Yeah. Get used to the fact that you've put stuff together in a disorganized manner, and that one of the best ways to start is to simply even unorganize it. So an analyst, for example, you could dump out one bag and just put on your analyst hat and analyze the patterns you see. What are some like items that are in this bag? What is similar about each of these items? Well, here's a bunch of mail. Ooh, there's some dirty socks. Oh, there's some, trash from the car. Yes, and it really is beneficial. This is one of the reasons why the very first layer of decluttering we always do, and we also all typically need to do it throughout the day, is surface area clutter. Because not only do you feel better when you see a clean surface, but you create a surface to then dump out and spread out the stuff that's all chaotic, like coffee and chaos. Okay? Yeah. We can think a lot, but notice this analogy. This might be a good time to look at the screen because this is kind of a visual. I'm going to give you 3 words that begin with H, and I'm going to tell you this is how I think about it. You've got your head right here at the top, okay? you've got your heart right here in the middle. And then at the bottom, you have your hands. Okay? And Lexi, you're not silly. Everybody wants a magic wand. Until those are invented, this is what we work with. So you've got your head, your heart, and your hands. Your head has words in it. Your heart has feelings in it. And your hands do not do something. Your hands do not do anything until it gets the green light from both these two departments. The thinker and the feeler need to sign off on whatever the plan is before the hands ever move. So if your hands are not moving to dump out that bag or to change the habit that your hands are in, that is because there is not an agreement. Not both parties have not signed off on what to do. You may make a plan here, but notice if you make a plan of words and lists and things of words, but the feeling is off, there's a green light here, but a red light or a yellow light here, nothing is moving from your hands. When you notice that, when you can break it down into those 3 layers, then you can kind of backtrack. Well, if I'm not doing it, and the hands are like the kind of the like, what do I want to say? Like Mike Mulligan and his shovel. Like that's what you move to move things, to keep them over here, to let them go over there. That's your hands. They only move once they're given the green light from your heart and your head. So therefore, if they are not moving, let's do some analysis. Let's analyze where in the process is there a red light that is stopping everything. And typically what it is, I have found, is that there is a sneaky thought underneath the planning thought that has triggered your feeler to get overwhelmed or fearful. And that thought stops the whole machine. So when you go just curiously looking through what is the thought and find it, then we can bring it out into the light and be like, oh, this is what was jamming up the works. Just these few words right here. I don't know what to do. Makes me feel overwhelmed. So let's change those words, put them back in the program, and with those words, see how that feels. Does that change the color of the light here? Yeah, that thought of I don't know what to do can totally stop you from doing something. Red light. So then you say, I may not know what to do. So you change around the words. Well, yeah, I may not know what to do, but I can learn from somebody. I can learn what to do here. I can. That doesn't sound as bad as no, I can't and I never will and all that kind of stuff. Okay? So put those words back in. Bloop. Better words feels a little bit better. Maybe the red light right here has gone from red and it changes to yellow. I always use the colors of like the traffic cop signals, you know? So now you've got yellow here. Okay. I know what to do. I'm not so afraid. Let's just try. So then you put some more good words in there. Yeah, you need to reprogram yourself. And you say, okay, how about this? One of the things I can do, maybe I don't know how to declutter, but I can go find somebody who knows how to declutter, who I can learn from. And there's that old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I often feel like that old 70s TV show Kung Fu, with it's like, oh, grasshopper, you know. Because I'm Gen X, what can I say? So I just offer to you, this is an analytical, curious way. You turn down the emotion, you turn down the stories, the drama, and the emotion. Temporarily pause that and just look at the situation with clarity as a process that is just temporarily stuck because there's some crossed wires. There's some words that are stopping something that should be a go. Okay? Yeah, Coffee and Calm knows what I'm saying because I'm Gen X too. So I love this. I love this because I love, all right? Arrow Girl brought 2 bags of things from my office to my room and I'm putting them away. Notice what you did. You stopped yourself from being red light in the hands. Your hands are now green light. It's a green light. It's safe to move my hands. It's safe to do this because I think I can do it and I feel like I can do it. And when I think I can do it and I feel like I can do it, then I will do something. Will I do the whole process? Maybe, maybe not. But I will do more than I would have done if I had just told myself I can't and everything was red, red, red. Play around with this. This can be really fun to say where in this process, and I was an art history major, but I was a process engineer, go figure. Analyze your own processes. Diagnose why your car is revving, but it's not in gear. There's something that is not connecting to allow it. And maybe it's you saying, oh, I didn't put myself in gear. I'm afraid to switch gears because of whatever. And I will tell you really simply, when I have discovered both decluttering-wise and life-wise, when you are not doing something, I'm not saying there's always fear there, because I don't like always and never, except I like always and forever, these moments with you. I like that song. Many times, if you are not doing something, look for the fear. What are you afraid of? And I don't mean, what are you afraid of? I mean it soft and lovingly. Like, what is the fear? I'm afraid that, and just whatever comes up, write it down. Notice the fear. There is fear that is stopping you from changing your habits. It's okay. All of us are fearful at one point or another. But I ask you, and I will share this with you. Let me see if I can find my own personal my own personal Facebook page, because I will share with you something that I posted on my page. Where'd it go? Well, it was around somewhere. Let me see if I can find it on my comments. Okay, here we go, because some people were liking it. September of 2016, I was in a job I hated, really didn't like. I knew I wanted to get out of there, but I was afraid of many things. And I saw a thing on somebody's Facebook page that said, stop being afraid of what could go wrong, fear of what could go wrong, and start being excited about what could go right. Okay? And incognito, yes, the lives, these TikTok lives are saved to YouTube. Okay? They are, totally. And the YouTube lives are saved there too. There are monthly, what do you call them? Playlists, I guess. So there's like the September 2025 playlist. They're there. Okay, and this really meant a lot to me, because I know when I posted that, I had decided to, regardless of my fear, I was going to quit that job. Regardless of the fear of where's the money going to come from. I mean, I had a plan. I wasn't just doing it willy-nilly. I knew we'd be okay financially for a while. I knew we could afford health insurance. But I also knew that I was about to turn 50 years old. And I was really like, I don't want my life to continue going in this direction, because I could see ahead that job was just going to get worse for me. It might have been a great job for somebody else. So, yeah. So I say to you, notice the fear. What are you afraid of? Label it. Own it. So Joy Ginger says, I pay $60 a month for a house phone. I had that phone number for 50 years. I never use it, but afraid to let it go. What are you afraid of? And I just say, just whatever you're afraid of, my mother still has. Okay. I don't have, we lost our landline long ago. We let it go because we are more mobile. The only time I remember that phone number, it's because the one we signed up to get points or discounts at Wegmans. And my mother still lives in the same house for 60 years, 50 some odd years, and has the same phone number. I would be sad if she let that go, but I would get it. So just ask yourself what you're afraid of, And is it, and Lisa, we have to keep it. Why? And notice what your answer is. Write it down. In case of a storm, my cell phone might not be charged. Notice that. I am afraid. I keep this thing. I keep this because I am afraid my cell phone might go out or charged if there's a storm. so that therefore I would feel safer knowing I have another phone to use, not just my cell phone. So, Joy Ginger, notice there's a fear behind your decision to keep the phone. So I offer to you, is it worth it to you? And it may be to pay $60 a month for peace of mind on the chance that there's a storm and it goes out. If it makes you feel better to keep it, but at least you know why you're keeping it. All right? Yeah. Arrow Girl says, it took me 3 years to discontinue our landline after my dad died. I was afraid if I needed 911. Yeah. So notice the fear of 911. Okay. Now Lisa says, the internet company has it as a BS connection. It's BS. Interesting. Yeah. And so Joy Ginger, I can't decide, but at least you know what you're deciding. So if it's $60 a month times 12, that's at least $600 plus another, so that's $720 a year for your peace of mind. Okay? To me, peace of mind is like one of the things that's priceless. So if it makes you feel okay, keep it. But if you're like, you know what? When's the last time that ever happened? When's the last time I actually used that landline? If I lost the landline and it was a storm, maybe I just practiced keeping my cell phone charged. Am I close enough to a neighbor that I could use their phone if mine died? There's many ways to think about it. But what I want to offer to all of us here is decluttering is decision making. And don't stop believing. But I want to offer to you getting in the habit of making an informed decision based on what's important to you and noticing the fear that's keeping you stuck. Don't say it's a decision and I can't make it. I mean, think of all the people who have the doom bags. Those are bags and bags of deferred decisions. Decisions you say, I'll deal with that later. I'll make that decision later. No, ideally, the buck stops sooner rather than later because you can make a decision you feel good about. Okay? And I offer that to everybody. Decluttering at the heart of it is decision making based on this one question: what do I want? And do I want this item or not? Does that item give me what I want, or is it taking away from it? Okay. Yeah. Now Christine is offering some ideas for phones and whatnot. Portia is asking, any advice for organizing with baby clothes? I always have to get rid of clothes to make room for, I assume, new ones. Yeah. Again, what I want to offer to everybody, and Lisa, I know I'm in analysis paralysis. We were talking about that. Notice, everybody, how we can feel paralyzed. We feel paralyzed because we aren't paying attention really to what's up here, except for that it's causing us to be paralyzed. This is where you slow down and you write down those thoughts, okay, to make room for new ones. Okay, so the interesting thing, Portia, I love that you're asking me this about baby clothes, because learning how to declutter when a child is small and teaching a child how to declutter, they may be way too small for this now. But that concept of these clothes were good for a certain time, but the baby has outgrown them, is part of living. Evolution, the evolution of a human baby into a bigger size, is just part of being human. So what I say to you right now is learn to feel good about sharing the baby clothes that you have with other people, whether you know them or not. Start to feel good about letting go, about what served you, honor it, thank it for its service, and then send it off so somebody else can use those clothes when their baby is that size. Okay? I have an older kid and want to teach him how to declutter too. Any advice? He's a pack rat, okay? Same thing. Feeling yourself, first of all, start with yourself. Are you sending mixed messages about what it means to hang on to things and to let them go? Are you easily letting go of things? Are you walking the walk, talking the talk? Are you embodying? God, you hear me say that? That was funny. Are you living the life of somebody who is donating and sharing and deciding and moving things around and keeping things kind of flowing? You know, model. Thank you. Yes, model the behavior you want them to repeat. You know? So, yeah. And so honor that feeling. Get comfortable yourself with that idea of, I love how this helped my baby be clothed, but now my baby is too small or too big and the clothing is too small. It is okay. I love the feeling of handing these down to somebody else who can use them. That feeling of good stuff, keeping it in flow. Lisa with analysis paralysis, the nervous system is right here. If you have a red sign right there, if you're feeling that, you won't be able to move until you change the color on that traffic signal. And oftentimes that traffic signal of red in your nervous system, paralyzed, is like you at a stop sign. That stop light will not change until you notice what is causing it to stay red up here, and then change that program, rewrite those words. Yeah. Health issues are paralyzing you. Yeah, we start always with the human body and saying, yeah, if I don't feel good physically, nothing really else good can happen until I feel better. Now, it doesn't have to be 100%, but factoring in to your decision making, how am I feeling? Physically, mentally, nervous system-y? All of those things feed into what you decide to tell yourself. And sometimes we don't decide to tell ourselves things. Sometimes the things we tell ourselves just show up in our brains unbidden. We didn't ask for it, it just shows up. Okay? Hey, there was somebody, who was it? There we go. Abbott Elementary, big day. Hooked up my hubby to get rid of a trailer that he's been paying for parking. Yay, good stuff. Now, Jane says, I want to keep it all. Sometimes I get rid of something and regret it the next week. That happens. It does. That's why people have a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to decluttering, because they've decluttered in a way that caused them regret. Mine is not a foolproof method. Nothing is. But the way we go through decluttering together, you and me, on these lives, during coaching, whatever it happens to be, slowly, keeping in touch with, will I regret this truly if I let it go? And asking yourself every step of the way, how do you feel about this process? Does this feel good? It will decrease the way you've done it, but you've just done it the way that has caused you regret, but there's other ways to do it. There's other ways to do it. Now, user 1963, good to see you. My problem is that my finances are moi, so I keep so much just in case. I can sell, consign, or repurpose. Here's an interesting thing. I wanna not challenge you on this, but I'll give you a wee bit of a pushback. If it's stuff that you can sell, are you selling it? If it's stuff that you're keeping to consign it, are you consigning it? If you are keeping it to repurpose it, are you repurposing it? Now, the answer may be different for each one of those. If you are selling it, it's not clutter. It's product. If you are consigning it, it's not in your house because it's at the consignment store. And if you are repurposing something, you've repurposed it and using it for something else, so it is not clutter. So I will always go back to, are you doing the thing that you said you wanted to do with the thing? Okay. Oh, hey, this is fun. Gabrielle says, recently looped in my siblings who also have too much stuff, and we do a FaceTime declutter day. What a great idea. Yeah. And Portia, what I would offer too is not emotional attachment. I find it hard to keep up with the constant turnover. I would recommend, because I do this with my adult clothing, is always having a donation bag at the ready wherever you're doing the laundry, where, as close to where you're making decisions about clothing. So get a kitchen garbage bag, a clean kitchen garbage bag, put it near your dryer, and when you're pulling the kids' stuff out, as soon as you see something that's too small, immediately just put it in the bag to donate. Okay? I'm analyzing that process, and that to me gets the stuff quicker. You know immediately when you're folding it, oh, that's too small, put it in the bag. Okay? Yeah. And Kara knows what she's talking about because she's not feeling good physically. Baby steps with the health issues. I just slowly flipped the laundry and plotted around the garage. Yeah, if you don't take care of your physical body, not sound like an old person, but man, without your health, things are a lot harder. Now, and yes, Kara, plotting is still forward. Hugs, hun. Christine loves this saying because we worked with it with coaching. And when you're fearing regret that you get something, prior to then letting go of something, go to the scary place. What's the absolute worst thing that could happen if I let this go? And pause and listen for the answer. The absolute worst thing that would happen if I let this thing go. Okay? Yeah. We downsized, okay, we downsized our living space, no basement or attic, yeah. Depending upon the size of your house, you may need to do more decluttering than people with larger spaces. Yay! I love it. Dawn says, that bag 6 inches from my dryer has worked. I do this. Yay. Good stuff. Yeah, Laura Gimmon Voorhees, piano room. She's singing us the song, You're the Piano Room. She's decluttering her piano room. It's coming along. Isn't that a nice feeling? I'm not there, but it's coming along. I moved a collage of photo tiles out and they look better. And the wall is ready for a framed Van Gogh print that I love. Yeah. And here's a fun thing. Christine, with that wonderfully dramatic phrase we use, it becomes kind of silly when I go there. What's the absolute worst thing that could happen if I, I put a bra and a pair of pants in a donation bag? What's the worst thing that could happen? I'll have one less pair of pants that were uncomfortable anyway, that did not fit my body anyway. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Teresa, and I say this with love because I've been there. I hold on stuff to sell. Weeks later, it's still there. Hubby gets irritated. Just get rid of it. Yeah, but what I say to you is ask yourself the question, why am I not selling this? If you say, I'm going to sell it, but you're not doing it, there's a disconnect. These two departments are not working well together. That's why the stuff just stays there. So I would say examine why you're not selling it. And I can understand if you say you're going to do it and you're not doing it, you're also not following through on what you promised yourself or your husband. Yeah. I love it. Vicky says, I pick a location to work on while listening to your lives. It's so motivating for me. Yay. Good stuff. No, I post, they just don't sell. Okay, good to know. If you post it and you don't sell it, lower the price or realize nobody, that's going to sound harsh, I don't mean it to be, nobody wants what you're selling. Maybe nobody wants what you're selling at the price you're asking for it, so try lowering the price. It might sell then, and Kara knows this, and I know this because I've sold stuff online, sometimes the money you want to get is just not going to happen. This is why I often say to people, this is why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered. Because your destination, if you're going to sell stuff, suddenly your destination is not decluttering because it slows down the decluttering process. Your destination is making money from the items I own. So when you know that, just know that decluttering will take longer. Your house will be cluttered for a longer amount of time when you decide to sell things. When you give away things, that's a quicker way of just getting towards decluttered. Okay? Yeah, there we go. Kara's Garden says, list it, place it in the car. If it's unsold in a week or two, bring it to Savers. Bring it to a donation place near you. Kara knows what she's talking about. And this is how you get to that true destination of a home that has less stuff in it. Okay? Now, I just glanced at the clock. It is 12:59 Eastern Time. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I show up here on TikTok at different times of the day, different days of the week. If you want to know when I'm showing up, become a member of my email group, Wicked Low Key, but you get an access to the schedule of when I show up. Go to destinationdecluttered.com and sign up for the mailing list on the bottom of the homepage. Wicked easy. I'm about to shift gears and do the exact same thing we're doing here, but over on the other channel known as YouTube. So if you want to join me, feel free to let me know. Just hang out with me over on Destination Decluttered on YouTube, okay? So, alrighty. I love it. Yay, Laura Gibbon Voorhees. I love it. Trying to sell new sweatshirts, lowered the price twice. It's paining me to go any lower than donate. Then ask yourself why you had the things in the first place. We cannot control what people are willing to spend money on, okay? Dawn, Coffee and Chaos, Calm, Arrow Girl. Let's all head over to YouTube. Okay, let me see if I can do this actually at the same time. This would be kind of funny. I can be at two minutes in one. Moving my stuff. Starting here, I'm going to take a goofy picture of myself, retake the thumbnail. All right, I'm going live on YouTube. I'm on the radio. I love it. Yeah, I'm on YouTube and on TikTok, but I'm going to shut off TikTok. Yeah, just donate it if you feel better, okay? Really nice to meet the new people. Always a pleasure to see folks whose names I recognize. I'll see you next time. Bye.